Hey everybody, welcome back to yet another exciting edition of What CD is Rob listening to now? And this time we continue on with our Iron Maiden marathon. Powerslave, released in September of 1984, and Iron Maiden's fifth studio album, also has the distinction of being their first album that has the same lineup as the previous album. All five guys here were also the same five guys on Peace of Mind. Crazy, huh? This lineup would remain through 1988's Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. Seventh Son. This is my personal favorite lineup of the band, and one that would eventually reunite in 2000, even keeping Adrian Smith's replacement. So that at that point they have three guitarists. But more on that later. For now, Powerslave. And we kick off with Aces High. This song starts the album almost as if it had already been in progress, which I thought was kind of cool. It sounds like the song had already been going for a bit and then stopped and then boom, went again. I mean, it just right in there. The performance turned in by each band member just goes to show you how great Iron Maiden are. The fast-paced energy of this tune, propelled forward by one of the genre's greatest rhythm sections, and indeed greatest rhythm section in music history, gives way to a fantastic vocal performance on Dickinson's third album with the band. At this point, there should be no doubt that he is, and always has been, the best fit for the band. Add in one hell of a great guitar solo, and you have an album that is already going to be a wild ride. One of the band's most popular songs, and covered by many artists, this was a great way to start the album. 2 Minutes to Midnight follows. This was a song written by Dickinson and Smith. It's a hard-rocking Iron Maiden classic and a protest song about nuclear war, with the title in reference to the so-called Doomsday Device. At just over 6 minutes, this was an odd choice for a single because of the length, and I'm sure the single version probably got cut to hell, which just is kind of sad. But as good as the song, and it also makes an obvious choice as well, so very cool track. The next track, Lost for Words, Big Aura, is the band's final instrumental tune to date, which is a shame because this song is a definite highlight of the album for me, and I'd like to hear them do another instrumental someday. Who knows what the future holds? And while it's one hell of a great instrumental tune, I can almost hear a vocal melody in my head, which makes it all the better. I mean, that is some seriously incredible songwriting if just the instrumentals evoke vocal performance in your head. Very cool. The song is a melodic powerhouse and one of the best on the album. The next track, Flash of the Blade, is another one of those songs that have been covered by some great artists, most notably Avenged Sevenfold. They did a fantastic job, but nothing can beat the original, of course. It's another one of those chugging songs. I already said that. Wow. With a guitar sound that, again, kind of chugs along. It's really cool. And it's sort of epic fantasy lyrics, and it makes this tune yet another great on an album already packed with great songs. I think I heard a cat over there. Creepy. The chorus on this one is one of my favorites, especially with the vocal harmonies, which I just love. Throw in a very melodic guitar solo, and you have a recipe for an absolute classic. The Duelists is up next, and had it not been for the album closer, this would have been my favorite track on the album. And once again, the bass really shines here. Steve Harris really is one of the best players of all time. Bruce sings effortlessly over this sort of melodic hard rocker. And of course, the title of this track seems pretty appropriate with the dueling instruments in this song. The guitars are dueling with the rhythm section and indeed each other as they trade moments during the middle half of the track. And it really makes for a cool instrumental section, a bit of a long instrumental section, which I just love. It's another highlight, and this is a highlight of the song for me. The vocals are great, but of course the instruments really shine on this track. Back in the Village feels like the heaviest song on the album, with its head-banging rhythm and shredding guitars. Add to that and we're treated to an almost hurried vocal melody that kind of makes me think of the previous singer, and it definitely complements the music beautifully. Of course, the previous singer being Paul Di'Anno. And this is a song to really get you up and moving. Such a cool tune that's sadly forgotten. The title track, Powerslave, follows with a really sort of chilling intro leading into a chugging musical section, and Bruce is singing as if vocally narrating a horror film. The song is about a pharaoh in his final hours of his life, and an entire stage show was built around this sort of imagery from this song. The music definitely has a sort of ancient Egyptian feel to it. I'm not sure why, it just kind of feels like it. And the guitars really shine on this song. This is a seriously cool tune, and it embodies just what I love about this band. A music that has no problem conveying the message of the lyrics, while being able to shred a bit as well. Damn good reason why this is one of the best bands of all time. Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner closes the album. Man, what a feast this song is. It's a musical version of the Samuel Taylor Coleridge poem. Coleridge. This was the same guy who wrote the poem that Rush based their 1977 track Xanadu on. It would be the band's longest track for over 30 years, and stands as one of my very favorite Iron Maiden songs. The first thing that should be said about this song is that it is an epic track where Steve Harris really shines on the bass. In fact, this may be one of his best performances thus far in their career. Elsewhere, the guitars sound just amazing as well. I think by this point, Dave and Adrian have become the best guitar duo in music, even rivaling, to me, James Hetfield and Kirk Hammett of Metallica. I mean, Adrian and, wow, just like Dave and Adrian, just fantastic guitar duo. They really complement each other's style great and makes for some really cool music. Even the drums sound fantastic here, and let's not forget the vocal performance that Bruce turns in on this tune. It's nothing short of phenomenal. I can't say enough great things about this nearly 14-minute track. It's a masterpiece from start to finish. I even love it when the band takes the quieter sort of bass-led interlude during the track with the vocals brought way down. I mean, just a very cool section, very cool song, and one that definitely cements Maiden as one of the absolute greatest acts in the history of rock. And that closes yet another album in my Iron Maiden marathon. Of course, we can't move forward without talking about the album cover. There's Pharaoh Eddie there with his I don't know, cats and whatnot. You know, name a band that has a more iconic sort of logo sort of character on their albums. I just don't think you can. Eddie is metal. Absolutely the coolest sort of rock figurehead in history, and here he is hanging out with at a temple in ancient Egypt. Where won't Eddie go? Maybe next time he'll go somewhere in time. Ha ha ha! Until then, toodles.